Hi.
Oh my gosh, you got your hair all did.
I think we have someone on too already.
Hey, well, welcome. I'm gonna have to excuse myself in about 2 or 3 minutes just to help my patient off their Healy, but then I'll be right back.
Oh, no worries.
Do we start the poll already?
Oh, no, it's 5 till, but I will definitely. I literally just got on. So I'll put it. So I did the 2 polls. I changed it to lifestyle poll. Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I just put,
Oh, did I still have something else on there?
I think you had gene poll, so I just figured we'll just put lifestyle on there, but okay, great. Yeah, I'll put the poll up then.
Great.
Get that going. So let's see. So I think we have a Lynn on. So Lynn, if you can hear me, and if you'd like to take this poll.
How do we get there? We're all the way like to a weird slide.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, you did a Facebook Live. I didn't get to see it. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, if you joined, we're going to get started in a few moments at 7:05. I think we have about 8 more minutes, so if you want to take the poll.
Feel left out. It says hosts and panelists cannot vote. Oh, fine.
So we
Oh,
got
God.
some attendance on, so we've got some, wow, look at that. Favorite lifestyle activity, self-care, massage, chiropractic. 100%.
Did you see my text too, Donata, about dancing with me so I can share my screen later?
Yes, I did. So I'll give you permission to share. Well, I don't know if I've done that, but we'll figure it out. Sure, it's pretty simple. Somebody on the Zoom can probably tell us too.
True, everybody is a Zoom expert these days.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's great. We've got some more people joining us. Welcome, Karen. Go ahead and take the poll. No worry lines, Donata. No worry lines. Don't concentrate so hard.
I'm reading your text. I know I do that. I like squint. You know what it is? I need to get better glasses.
Oh, yeah.
My doctor. I'm taking that astaxanthin again.
I know. And then there's like, okay, and your phone should be up like this to keep your neck in the proper position. Do you know that for every bit you're down, it puts like hundreds of pounds of pressure on your brainstem?
Oh, then you have to come in and get adjusted to get all straightened out, right?
Neck. Oh, and then you're. Let's welcome Cecilia.
Yay. Well, do we have, well, 2 more minutes. So the poll's still going. It looks like self-care is like hot.
Yeah, and if everybody wants to put in the chat who, like, where you're from, who invited you, that would be great to see too, where everybody's from. I mean, I know Cecilia and John, but I don't know Karen and Lynn, so it'd be great to know your background or what, how you ended up here tonight. Just a little shout out would be great. And then what you can do, so everybody can see you when you're in the chat, you have the option where it says to, you can just send comments just to the panelists, or if you click the little drop down, you can send comments to all panelists and attendees. And encourage you, if it's not a private question that you have, to go ahead and do that so that you can all kind of know who's on the call and who's listening in. At the end, we'll probably bring everybody on so we can see each other and ask questions. So great, Lynn, you found it yourself. You're in Arizona. Wonderful. Welcome.
Don't be shy.
Lynn's in Mesa. John's here at my invitation in my Gaining Power Over Stress Facebook group. Awesome. All right, well, it's 7:05. So does look like we have everyone. Has everyone responded to the poll? We'll give a couple more seconds to do that if we haven't yet.
Let's count down 5. Okay, if you haven't done the poll, put it in there. We don't publish who you are. What happens within the poll stays within the poll. So feel free to answer very quickly. I'm going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to end the poll now and share the results.
Self-care massage. Oh, that's right. They can pick more than one, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Look at that, Donata. Nobody likes vigorous exercise. That's because you didn't get to vote.
Except for me.
It's Donata's favorite, vigorous exercise. Well, this is so great. Donata's probably going to introduce me, but the poll is we're gonna talk about these things throughout the night. So I wanted you to really think about all the things, all the activities you do to take care of yourself so that you can have them as we go through the presentation. So anyway, I'll stop talking if you'd like to do your part.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. And hopefully my computer started having its own mind. So I think I've stopped the slides from going. So my name is Donata Meyer. I'm a Nutrimetrics consultant, and I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Carla Gibson. She's actually going to go over our GeneSNP testing. And I'm very happy to say she is my chiropractor. I met her at a networking event. Geez, it's been about a year, I think, right? And I just really believed in her philosophy about nutrition, and she talked about her specialized chiropractic care. And I liked the fact that it wasn't the typical kind of go in and get scrunched around and, and leave. So I, had an appointment with her, and I like how she provides care, and she can tell you a little bit more about that and the scientific background behind that. But anyway, fast forward, now we're partnering together and educating. She is educating on the genetic testing and I'm basically just helping her with the webinar. So she's doing like 99% of the work here. So Carla, I'm going to let you take it away and tell everyone about yourself and show them the GeneSNP information. So
wonderful. Thank you so much, Donata. I do want to acknowledge you for being such a wonderful partner with me and taking time out of your busy schedule to set up the events and run the webinar and really be the hostess with the mostest for us. So thank you so much for doing that. I know your commitment to people is out of this world. It's fun to know that there are other people in our community who care about people's health, who want to make sure that people have the information they need to be as healthy as they can be. And when I met Donata, I didn't know anything about the Nutrimetrics company, and I didn't know anything about GeneSNP. I knew a little bit about the genetic variations and how they affect our health, but I didn't really have a way to test it in a way that was meaningful. And I've been in practice about 14 years. I started out with bioenergetic synchronization technique, which is basically a gentle mind-body balancing program. And then somewhere along the way, I was a stay-at-home mom with a business degree. And I said, if I really want to help people with their health, I probably should be a doctor. And so I became a chiropractor because I loved hanging out with chiropractors. And I love the philosophy of chiropractic, which says that healing comes from within. You have everything you need. Your body is perfectly and wonderfully made. You don't need any help really to be healthy, but you need no interference. And there's a lot of things in our modern life that get in the way of us really expressing the perfection and the health that we were born with. So I love that philosophy. So I went to chiropractic college, and 5 years ago, my family and I moved here to Arizona, and I opened a practice first in Chandler for about a year, and then I've been in Scottsdale for the rest of the time. And I have a variety of techniques that work with your body to remove stress, to remove tension, and to basically have your body function as it was designed. And a big part of that for me is making sure that your body has the right fuel, has the right nutrients. And I always talk about, I give this analogy, you know, if you were going to build a house and you went to the job site in the morning to build the house and they didn't deliver the nails, there's probably not a lot you can do to build a house. Now, I said that a few times recently and realized I don't know anything about modern house building. Maybe these days you can build a house without nails. I don't know. But it seems to me like building a house starts with a frame and you have to nail things in. And if you didn't have the nails, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to take the day off. And I feel like that's one of the places where our body is the same way. Our body is amazing. It can adapt. It can put up with a lot of toxins. It can put up with a lot of stress. It can put up with physical stress and mental and emotional stress. And we can adapt and survive, you know, and in a lot of ways, we can even put up with a lack of nutrients. If you look at even, you know, countries, third world countries where people don't have a lot to eat, but yet they can work in a field, they can do these like great things with their body, even though they're starving. You know, it's like really amazing to see. Now, we don't want that for anybody, but we want to have optimum nutrition. Here in our country, we have the opportunity to have optimum nutrition. And one of the pieces of that, now we know it's not just what you eat, it's actually finding out, are there things to eat that would turn certain genes on, turn certain genes off, and then actually have you avoid certain diseases altogether, have you feed your body in a certain way that makes all the absorption and all the pathways optimum. So I was so excited to find out that Nutrimetrics offers this GeneSNP test. That's the name of the test, is the GeneSNP, and we're going to talk more about what a SNP is and what genes are. But the test was really designed to give you information about your health. And I'm all about health, so that's why I decided to do it. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth tonight about what the test is, what you can expect to get from it, why you would want to do it, or why you would want to recommend it to friends or family, or why you'd want to tell people about it, or if you're part of the Nutrimetrics organization, why you would want your customers to have this test, what it would mean for your customers. So I think we have the next slide now is the objectives for the evening. So let's go back. I know sometimes you push that button on Zoom and it just goes so fast. So we are gonna, hopefully you'll leave tonight with a little bit better understanding of how your genetics affect your health, maybe beyond the Punnett square that you probably learned in grade school. The basics of the GeneSNP test and what it can tell you and what it can't tell you in some cases. And then at the end, we'll have a special offer for you for being with us tonight. We have a special offer on ordering your GeneSNP test, and we'll tell you how you can do that. So I think the next slide is our second poll on lifestyle. So let's go ahead and put that up, and you'll notice, oops, uh-oh, it skipped on you.
That's okay. We'll get back to it.
Okay. There you go. So what lifestyle activity is the hardest for you to do, or which one do you wish you could just ignore, avoid it? Like, I never wanted to do that. I think we're going to have a few people say vigorous exercise, but maybe not. And of course, you can pick all the ones that are not appealing to you. And we'll give you a few seconds to take the poll while we figure out what's up with our slides. All right. All right, so how are we doing with the poll? Well, there we go. We're almost back to the beginning.
Is everyone done? I know we had about 2 more, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to share results here.
Ah, I was right. Vigorous exercise. And sleeping. I'm not really a fan of trying to get all that sleep either. I'd rather be out doing things. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for taking a moment to answer the poll and to really look for yourself in your life. Like, where is it that you're struggling, or where is it you wish if I could just give certain things up and not have to worry about it? So if you go on the next slide, Donata, that's really what what it comes down to in our modern age, we have so much information. Even, do you know, I started off being interested in nutrition and health. It's been 20 years ago now. I can't believe it like went by like that. And at the time, it seemed like back then it was so difficult to get the information. But, you know, you read books and your friends told you about things they were doing. And then, I mean, you know, 20 years ago, we didn't even have the internet yet, if you can imagine that. But then shortly after I started getting interested in health and nutrition, there started to be more ways to search the internet and find more and more information about health. And then it comes down to, well, there's all these things that if you read long enough, you could drive yourself crazy. There's all these things I should be doing. If you read the news every day, you'll hear about a new nutrient or a new supplement or something, a new food that they've discovered is great for your health and it's great for some ailments. And if you look through any nutrition company's product guide, you'll see the same thing. You'll read about a nutrient. It'll sound so great. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I should be taking that. And then before you know it, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I have 20 or 30 different supplements to take. And then, you know, your friend will tell you about how great intermittent fasting has been for them. So you want to try that. And then your other friend might have the, I don't know, the high fat, you know, low whatever diet. Like there's always something you could do. We're just overloaded with information. So how do you decide what's important? And then you'll think about your life and you'll think about what you've heard and you'll think, okay, well, is it just in my nature? You know, is it, I have cravings? Am I just a bad person? I don't know. I just don't have any willpower. You can start to wonder, like maybe health just isn't for me. Maybe I'll just never be good enough. There can be conversations like that. You can wonder, you know, like again, like I know Janata teaches spin class and I would love to go hang out with Janata at spin class, but you know, I hate the idea of doing a spin class. Like I just don't want to, but I think
don't really like spin either. I teach bar.
bar, right?
Whatever,
like
right?
I got ballet when I was like 8, so I'm probably not supposed to do bar either, like with my things. But all these things you wonder, like you think like you're just left kind of looking to other people, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's hard to know, like, if you really want to choose activities and do things to be healthy, like, is it going to work for you? Like, it really works well for Donata to exercise like that. And I think, oh, I should be like Donata. I should be at the gym, you know, every night. I should be teaching class. I should be, you know, doing that. But then I don't know, is that really going to work for me? I mean, it has in the past. Will it work in the future? I don't know. And then there's the whole nurture argument of, well, you know, you are the way you are because of the environment that you're in. And then it's not really about your genes. It's not really about anything. It's just about who you surround yourself with and what you do and what you put in. So I kind of made a list there, things that could be nature, things that could be nurture or learned. And it's actually the argument, there's a whole field for it actually called epigenetics, where they started to look at, okay, for years we thought that if you get certain diseases or if you have a certain body type or you look a certain way or you're able to function in certain ways, that it's just genes, like you just have really good genes and that must be why you just inherit it from your parents and that must be why it works for you. But then over the last probably 100 years with the dawning of the industrial age, we started seeing like, you know, no, it's not always the person who has, you know, somebody will come up with a disease in the family and no one else in the family has it. How does it happen? Or, you know, somebody like you come from a family of people who are really healthy and fit and they worked in a field and now, you know, you're tired and you have chronic fatigue. What happened? So then they really started looking at this. It's the environment that can cause genes to turn on or turn off. And so then that's a whole field of epigenetics. So I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, who's a financial advisor, and we got to the point in the conversation about something about our finance. And she's like, well, you know, you just plan for the worst and hope for the best. And it just struck me. I was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. That actually, we don't have to do that in this day and age. We don't have to plan for the worst and hope for the best. We can actually stop guessing about what's going to work for us and what's not. We can get good information and then we can plan for the best. So that's all I'm doing for now on. And I want to empower you to do the same thing. So let's go to the next slide, which I believe is the video.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Thank you. So if we can get the video to play, this is going to give you a little overview of what GeneSNP is and how it works.
Your DNA tells a story, how you process foods, how your family history plays a part in your health, and what you can do to support a healthy gene environment. Your health is a result of interactions between your genes and factors such as diet, including supplementation, exercise, stress, sleep habits, and elements of lifestyle, such as smoking and alcohol. By knowing more about your genetic blueprint from SNP analysis, lifestyle changes can be customized to meet your needs. Genetic analysis can pinpoint your unique gene variations, or SNP, and how those variations are affecting your body. Quite literally, armed with this information, you can take steps alongside your healthcare provider and make a plan. Genes that are behaving poorly can be turned down, and those that are behaving optimally can be turned up. You may be thinking, what is a SNP and how does it affect my health? A SNP is a gene mutation. This is a permanent change in the DNA sequence that makes up the gene. A single nucleotide polymorphism, or SNP, is a small genetic change or variation that can occur within a person's DNA sequence. Changing just one base can change a gene's instructions to the cell. These individual combinations instruct the body on how to perform each of its functions. Some of these combinations instruct for non-health related differences like blue eyes. Some of these combinations, however, code for suboptimal metabolic activity that may result in increased potential for chronic health complaints, like high blood pressure. When a change occurs, there may be a loss of a nutrient-driven enzyme or optimal functioning of a metabolic pathway. This loss or impairment may be due to a lack of a nutrient, the amount of a nutrient, or even the combination of nutrients required for supporting healthy metabolism. Loss of nutrient function may mean the body is not functioning optimally, and the answer is found in your genes. For example, our genes signal to regulate factors like blood sugar stabilization, energy pathways that are necessary for weight loss or better sleep. Even insight into mental, emotional concerns can be elucidated with the help of a comprehensive genetic analysis. Our genes remain the same throughout our lifetime. No amount of food or exercise can physically alter our genes. However, we can change how genes behave. With proper lifestyle and nutritional interventions, including supplementation, you can promote healthy gene expressions in order to maintain optimal health. We know whatever the reason, you want answers to your health questions, answers personally tailored to you, your body, and your lifestyle. When it comes to your health, some of those answers are in your genes. It's time to take action. It's time to make the decision to improve your health, your life, based on the latest cutting-edge science. If you believe your body can give you more than what you're currently getting, you now have the tool that gives you those answers. Speak to your healthcare professional today about how you can take advantage of your genetic potential.
All right. Well, they did such a good job on that video. It says it all. So I just want to talk a little bit about what she was pointing to. So deciding what you're going to eat or what kind of supplements to take, or what kind of exercise you're going to do is possible with a personalized nutrition plan. Now, as a doctor, I have a lot of tools to help people decide what might work for them as far as diet and exercise and how they should take care of themselves, when they should get adjusted. I do a lot of assessment in my office. I'm looking at functionally, how is your body reacting to its environment and its stress? And I have some other nutrition testing that I do to find out how is your metabolism working. And all of those things are ways to personalize your nutrition. And it's combined with your history, your family history, all those things are important. And then the GeneSNP DNA analysis just takes it one step further because it actually tells us what's going on in your body. Okay, so if you want to go to the next slide, I just want to talk a little bit about this field that we're in, the field of nutrigenetics. So like she said, when we look at your genetic variations, we can tell you how nutrients are going to affect your body. And it's amazing. I've been listening to some of the training, and did you know that the vitamins and minerals that you put in your body basically affect 22% of your genetic activity? 22% of the way that your genes communicate with your cells is impacted by the vitamins and minerals in your body. Now, I know that at first 22% doesn't sound like very much, but do you know how many genes you have in your body? about, you know how many genes you came with? You came with like billions, okay? You have billions of genes. You have 37 trillion cells. So the genes are communicating with those cells. So the fact that you can influence 22% of them, that is a lot of function that you can influence just by the food that you're eating, okay? So in the next slide, there's nutrigenetics, and then there's a newer term that's come out called nutrigenomics. And so it's nutrition working with cell signaling to signal certain cells to fire, certain cells to turn off, and it all through nutrition. And it's a very exciting field. And I just love this little picture of how we have a cell, and on the cell there's a receptor, and then there's a certain pathway that electricity flows to signal your cell to do a certain thing, and that's all activated by your genes. And so I just thought we would share that because I thought those were so great. So go ahead and go to the next one. And then, you know, it's not always about the genes that you have, because you can have genes for a lot of different things. Like here's a list of, you know, you could have genes that might mean you could age prematurely. You could have genes that say you're predisposed to cardiovascular disease. You could have genes that say you're predisposed to being obese, or that you have to worry about losing bone density as you age. But it's not about the genes that you have. It's about whether or not those genes express. So one of the things we say is genetics just loads the gun. And in many cases, it's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. So you could have these genes, and if you knew that you had them and you knew how they varied and what impacted them, you could actually take steps to never have that gene pull the trigger. So it's very, very exciting. So go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, so this is kind of the basics of what she was telling you about what is a SNP. It's a singular nucleotide polymorphism. And basically each gene has a little 3-digit code, and all, you know, they sequence the human genome, and they actually stopped the project early because we found out that 99% of our genes for every human was the same. 99% between me and Donata, we are exactly the same. And then there's this 1% variation, and that 1% variation comes from, there are certain genes where the code might be off by 1 letter. And that's what we call a mutation or polymorphism. It's off by 1 letter. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means that that gene is going to give a little bit different information to the cells than the gene with the different code. And so that's just kind of how that works. So go ahead to the next slide. So like the video said, some genes are non-health related. They instruct for things like having blue eyes. They instruct for cosmetics. Some can instruct how your metabolism is going to run. Some are going to lead to chronic health issues. Others are going to lead you to, there's actually a gene that says you will be protected from having Alzheimer's. So there's that too. You know, you can say like, oh, well, like I have this gene. I'm not like you're going to go and go crazy like, wow, my genes are great. I don't have to worry about doing anything. But because you can always do something that stops that gene that's protecting you from expressing. So you want to know that too. So go ahead. All right, so I think we covered that already. This is what I said about it's not even 1%. Look at that, it's 0.1%. So it's 99.9% we're the same, and it's 0.1% is where we're different, okay? And it's just a small number of genes. So, you know, and I think for most people, we're finding that, you know, medicine was a miracle 100 years ago when it was developed, and there's certain diseases, you know, like my stepmother has type 1 diabetes, and she's clear like insulin is the best thing that was ever invented because it allowed her to stay alive. You know, without that, people who had type 1 diabetes didn't have any treatment. So there's a lot of things in modern medicine that are really important, but a lot of things were developed with a one-size-fits-all strategy. And now there's actually a whole division of medicine called functional medicine, which is what I participate, is kind of a model and approach that I use, where you're not looking at a standard one-size-fits-all. So I could have diabetes, Donata could have diabetes, our friend could have diabetes, but the underlying cause of that diabetes for all 3 of us could be different, which means that the treatment that's going to have an impact on us can be different. I deal with this all the time. I have a lot of patients who have high blood pressure. And one of the tests I do in my office actually looks at how your blood pressure changes when you go from laying down to standing up. And for some people, it's a nutrition issue that they have high blood pressure. And for some people, it's a stress issue. And then for some people, it's just how their heart works. And I never know who's who, except that when I start to really look at what are the underlying causes and what are they doing in their life, I can actually make a treatment plan that works for them and helps them manage that condition and reverse it, because it's high blood pressure for most people is reversible. And then for a few people, it's not. So, but knowing that makes a difference, because if you treat everybody like your high blood pressure is not reversible, you know, it doesn't work out that well, as we've kind of seen as modern medicine has progressed. So we'll go to the next slide and just kind of talk a little bit more about a holistic approach to taking care of yourself, a holistic approach to, you know, you can do several things. Now, you may already have a condition, or you may already have a pathology, or you may have already been diagnosed with something. And it's possible that with the information you get from the GeneSNP test, it can give you better information about how to manage your health such that that disease doesn't progress as fast. Some diseases can actually be reversed. And then other diseases maybe will progress how they're going to progress. They can't be reversed, but your quality of life can be improved greatly by managing the things you can manage. So we're looking at 3 different things when we're looking at this approach. We're looking at how the genes affect the nutrients. So there's not just taking in a good diet or taking good supplements. There's also, are you able to absorb the things that you're eating? And are you able to break down the nutrients to the specific, to the smaller particles that you need to actually function the way it's supposed to function? For a lot of people, they're finding now more and more, a lot of genetic pathways have been interrupted or inhibited. And then that's why people take a lot of vitamins and then they don't feel good. Or they take something they read is supposed to help with the condition they have, and then it doesn't actually work. And it may not be that that nutrient doesn't actually help that condition. It's that their particular gene doesn't allow them to absorb and use the nutrient the same way as it may be absorbed and utilized in somebody else. And this is something we may be able to do something about when we know that. So there's also the interaction between your nutrients and your lifestyle. So again, it comes to which diet is right for you. And some people will do really well with a paleo diet, and some people will do really well with a ketogenic diet. And it's so great now that we actually have a somewhat definitive test, so that if you've tried a diet that worked great for your friend and it didn't work with you, it may not be like your fault. It may be that that's just not the diet that is genetically appropriate for you. Again, you may be someone who deals with having cravings, and every time you go on a diet, you just fall off because you have cravings. But again, this may not actually have to do with your willpower or that there's something wrong with you. It may actually have to do with that you are predisposed to having cravings, and if you know that, you can take steps to control your environment or take steps to get the right nutrients so that you don't have to try to control something that genetically you can't actually control. And then there's the gene interaction with your lifestyle. So like we said, your genes load the gun, your lifestyle pulls the trigger. There are several genes that actually can only be impacted by lifestyle, specifically the genes for Alzheimer's and aging. There's not a lot we can do nutritionally. You actually they're affected by lifestyle and making sure that you're eating healthy foods and proper foods and exercising the proper way. There is an example too, this PPR gamma gene. It's actually a protective gene for cardiovascular health. And you would think cardiovascular health, oh, that must be like I should go out and do a lot of cardio workouts, and I should eat a low-fat diet because that keeps me from having atherosclerosis, and all these kind of things we've discovered. But it turns out that this PPR gamma gene is protective for cardiovascular health. And what turns that gene on is when you do yoga, when you do low intensity exercise, and when you do the high fat, low carb diet. So if you have the PPR gamma gene and its certain variation, that's the plan that's right for you. So if you're somebody who said you didn't like vigorous exercise, if we do the test and find out that you have this specific gene variation, then you will be cleared to never vigorously exercise again. So, so that's kind of how that works. So let's go ahead to the next one. So this is how it works. So you're going to pinpoint your specific gene variations. We're going to look at 48 different gene SNPs, and there's 61 variations throughout this. Now, some people ask me all the time, well, I had 23andMe done, or I did something on Ancestry. Is there some way to take those test results and then let me know what's going on with me? it's very difficult. I've downloaded my own 23andMe results, and it's very difficult to find the SNPs that relate to health. Sometimes it's because I just don't have those SNPs, so they didn't show up on my report, but mostly it's because 23andMe was actually sued for giving out health advice to people because they're a lab. They're not a healthcare practitioner, and only healthcare practitioners can give people health advice. So they actually went through and took out a lot of the data that they were reporting on. So that's why you don't even have access to that. So with the GeneSNP DNA analysis, it can only be ordered through a healthcare provider that's registered with Nutrimetrics. And then that healthcare provider isn't just gonna do the test and hand you a report and say good luck. This is actually a conversation about your health and about, okay, now that we know this, what are we gonna do to manage your life and your conditions in a way that'll make this report meaningful for you? So, so that's why it's a little different. So you can't just go to a website and order a test and swab your own cheeks and then get a report. Okay, it's kind of like if you went to your doctor and you ordered a lab test and then they just gave the results, but they didn't tell you what to do about it. You'd probably be a little upset. Now, I say that, but of course now you can actually go to any lab and you can get your own lab test and test yourself. That's fine. But the GeneSNP is only available through a healthcare provider. So go ahead to now. Let's see what else is in here. And I said slide 25 was when I was going to show, but I didn't realize I'm not going to be able to see the slide number. So let's go ahead and if you can let me share my screen. I can't do it until, so you just need to stop sharing and then I'll be able to share mine. So I'm going to show you, what the report looks like so you can have an idea of what you get. Okay, sharing my screen. And I had pulled it up earlier, but now, here we go. Share. All right, so this is a PDF of the report. If you're local, you'll actually get a printed out report. Now this is an example. So this person, there's 144 different things that could be in your report. So this person had, some of them, and you might have all 144, probably not. But you're gonna have a good amount of data. Wow, that's not scrolling down very fast. Okay, you'll get something that reminds you what SNPs are and how to read your report. And then I'm gonna show you, oh boy, this is harder to share than I thought, I apologize. And you can just see my, yeah, that's right, because that's what I'm sharing. Okay. But I want to show you, here you get your personal genetic profile. So it's great because on this one page is a summary of your most important findings. So those are action items that you can actually start looking at, working on right away, and you can know what's the most important. And it's interesting too, it also does the work for us because really you could have 2 or 3 genes that say you might be prone to cardiovascular disease, and then you can have 1 or 2 that say you're not. So that could be confusing if you were just reading a report. But this program does an index for us. So in this case, 22 of the 48 base pairs that we're looking at have to do with obesity, cardiovascular health, and things like that. So you're going to get an index. So this person's score was 7.2, which means they kind of have a high propensity for obesity, and that's paying attention to diet, activity levels, and behaviors, maybe more so than other people have to, actually will be really great for them. And then, even if they're not expressing obesity yet, it'd be good to know that so that they can take the steps to be sure they don't go down that road. It's going to tell you some of the best foods for you. This person should have less saturated fat, limit their carbs. They have a decreased ability to taste sucrose, which is sugar. So, that may be why they overeat. Maybe they just don't taste the sugar and that doesn't give their brain the signal that they should slow down. They don't need to eat more. And then we also cover exercise and activity, your behavior. You might find out that, you have a tendency to overeat. You have more of a tendency than other people to have cravings. This particular person needs the vigorous exercise in order to reduce fat. My test is coming in soon. I'm guessing that probably will be me, but I don't know. We'll see. In the past, that's when I've lost weight when I was younger. That's when I usually was easier to lose weight, but we'll see what it says. And then Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is so hard to move through here. Okay, so it's going to tell you other things about your health, increase your endurance exercise, lower your bad cholesterol. Here it's going to tell you, talk about vitamins and tell you certain vitamin deficiencies you may be prone to, which means that you might be someone that needs to take higher doses of vitamin D because you don't absorb it as well. You may not convert beta carotene as well as somebody else, so supplementing with vitamin A, which is a very important vitamin for your immune system, might be really important to you because you won't get it out of food as well as other people will. And then I think that is the whole snapshot. So that's a snapshot. And then there's probably 20 pages in here about what to actually do about that and what else you can do. And then of course you're getting the expertise of a health professional as well, who's going to look at your lifestyle, what you're currently doing, what you've done in the past, what your health goals are, what your family history is, and we're going to put all that together and make a plan for you. So when you work with me to do this test, your package actually includes 3 implementation sessions where we'll spend time talking about what you actually want to accomplish, and then looking at what what your report says will support you the best, and then giving you a little bit of accountability, having you lead with a little bit of an not a little bit, but having you lead with an action plan, so that it's not just like another bunch of data that you get and then you can't actually do anything about. We want to make sure that you can actually have that work for you. And John, you're right. Dr. Mercola's had one of the largest health information websites on the planet when the internet was new. And it really is, that really is how it is. Like, we think of a lot of things as food, but some people have certain genetics that you don't recognize certain things as food. It's actually always poison to your body. So you're going to be able to find that out so you can make good choices. All right, Danana, when you're ready, when you can screen share again, we'll have you put the slides back up.
Okay, I've got the document. So I didn't know. Let's see. If you wanted to, because there's some of these, but I know you went a lot. Oh, do you want to go over these? I know you went over these in the report.
Nope, we kind of went through that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, when we got to the patient-friendly report, that would be when I would show you the patient-friendly report. Now I know for next time. All right. So really, if you're someone who's really looking for a personalized health solution, you want answers to questions you haven't been able to come up with in years, or you really just want to plan for the future. You want to plan for healthy aging, plan, to extend your life by making great decisions now, then the GeneSNP test will probably be very informative and very beneficial for you. I'm not sure what that last slide said, Donata. If there's anything else I need to cover, but I know Donata wants to tell you a little bit about Nutrimetrics and this unique delivery system that our Nutrimetrics and Isotonics products have. We also have a disclaimer in there about we're not giving any health advice. Now, I'm a health professional, so if you're my patient, I actually can advise you on your health, whereas a lot of our nutrition consultants can't speak to specific conditions. But if you have something that you're dealing with and you want to message me privately after this, you'll have my contact information in our follow-up, and you're welcome to ask me questions. And if it's a question I can answer without actually doing a full history on you, I will. And if it's not, I'll just let you know that we would actually need to have a longer conversation to deal with that. So, but if you want to go ahead and start probably with the disclaimer slide, Donata, and then you could do your part.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then I figure we can open it up. We can have a lot of time at the end to open it up for any questions. So I'm just going to go over a couple of, or really just talk about our special delivery system that we have. And it's basically an isotonic formula. And before we share any products, we just have by DSHEA, by law, to just have the disclaimer that the statements have not been evaluated by the food and, the FDA, and their products. The products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So I'm just going to show you a couple of videos. The first one is the isotonic delivery, and it just talks about why it is unique in relation to just taking a regular pill. It's all about the absorption and the delivery. So I'm going to play that quickly. And then an immune support product that we have, because everyone's really concerned right now with their immune system. And then Dr. Carla will talk about your special introductory offer, and maybe just open it up for some Q&As. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Good? Okay,
Yep.
let's see if we get the video going here.
Isotonics, the world's most advanced nutraceutical taken orally. Isotonics refers to the form by which the supplement is delivered into your body. Isotonic means having the same fluid pressure as body fluids. This all-natural delivery method reduces the time it takes for your body to absorb the nutrients. Normally, when you ingest a daily vitamin or nutritional supplement tablet, your body must work up to 4 hours digesting and absorbing the vitamins and nutrients. During this lengthy breakdown process, a percentage of the nutritive value is lost. But because Isotonics products are powders, the fillers, binders, coatings, and lubricants that are common to tablet manufacturing are not necessary. And the inactive natural ingredients and flavoring also make the product taste great. Faster and more efficient absorption into the bloodstream increases the value of taking nutritional supplements. Always follow the directions on the label when taking any nutritional supplement. Isotonics products become isotonic when mixed with the appropriate amount of water. You simply mix the product, stir, and drink. It's that easy. Isotonics.
Hey, so
I
that was
texted my daughter during that to make sure she's taking her supplements.
okay. It's a gentle reminder, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and the beauty of it too, it's funny because we were talking earlier on a call and I had some turnip and it tastes so good. I mean, some of them are really delicious. I mean, it has pomegranate. That's one of the packets that we have, and it's especially for energy. So pomegranate, red, green tea extract, and all these wonderful flavors. So it is actually really good. So this next one is just a quick one on our immune support. Like you mentioned, we have different packets and different formulations to address, for example, like this, the immune support. So we'll play that. And anybody on with either kiddos or grandchildren, they love to be able to drink their vitamins, and or there's some formulations that are like chewables. So that was just, that segment there was an adult immune product as well as the children's DNA Miracle line. So just wanted to share that with you. So if we have any questions. And we'll turn it back over to Dr. Carla if you want to talk about your offer, and then we can open it up for questions.
Yes, and just to let you know, my daughter texted back. She is taking her supplements. She's away at college, and it makes me feel really good about that, given everything that's going on. And it's just one of the things I really respect about the company is that not only would they offer a whole bunch of products, all very high quality, very sourced from great sources, but that they would actually offer a test for those that want it to tell you which products you should take, because there may be some of our products, like I said, you could read our descriptions, every product is a miracle and it is for somebody, and that they would actually offer a test so that you could dial in that nutrition and actually get the right products. I think that really is just, I love it. It's just so wonderful. So that people can really get the best, the most benefit out of what they take. So can you put it in presentation mode, Donata?
We'll cross our fingers. That's when it seems
Oh
to
my gosh.
run out.
Okay, so like I said, to do the NutriSpec or to do the GeneSNP testing with me, I offer it as a package, and the package includes your initial exam and consultation. So you're all here in Arizona, so you could come into my office and I would actually do an exam and consultation with you as if you're a new patient. As a practicing chiropractor and someone with a license, I'm actually required by law to do that. but most people will tell you doing that consultation exam with me is delightful. You learn a lot about your body, and it is really part of genetic testing, is to know your history, to know what you want to accomplish, and to know what's working and what's not working so that you can get the most out of your test results. It also includes one stress relief session with me. I am a chiropractor, but I'm not your average chiropractor. I use very gentle techniques and stress relieving techniques. So my adjustments are called stress relief sessions. You'll get to try one of those stress relief sessions as part of your package. And then it includes the actual test, which is a cheek swab test. So we take some swabs and we swab your cheeks for an inordinately long amount of time. It's a whole minute. It seems like it's a really long time. And then we send those off to the lab, and the lab takes somewhere between 6 and 10 weeks to give us your results. So it takes a lot of willpower to wait, and we wait. It seems like we're waiting forever. But in the time in between, like I said, if you do a stress relief session with me, I do some other nutrition testing as part of your intake. So we can start to create a plan and start to see what might support you while you're waiting for your test results. And then once your test results come in, we'll have those 3 implementation sessions where we'll actually get on Zoom, or you can come to the office and we'll actually talk for a minimum of 30 minutes. I mean, it may be more, but the idea is it'll be about 30 minutes of, okay, what's our action plan? What are we going to implement? I imagine these conversations will happen over like a 3-month period so that you can take pieces of your report and actually put them into practice. So if you go to any other doctor, you take tests, of course, you got to pay for an office visit to have those tests interpreted and to, do those steps. So this is kind of the same idea here, but I've put it all into a bundle for you so that you just pay one time for the whole test and then it's all done. So normally if you were to pay by the visit with me to have all these things done, it would be $1,050 value. And I'm offering it through the end of the year for $650. So now, for those of you who took the time to be with us tonight, I actually have a very special offer just for you. If you see the link here, the bit.ly/GeneSNP600, when you go to that link, you're going to get another $50 off. So for you, it's going to be $5.99 if you go ahead and register, within the week. Just really ask that you kind of commit and then get your appointment scheduled as soon as possible, because the swabbing, the sooner we do that, the sooner we can send it off to the lab, and then we start that 6 to 8 week countdown. And since especially going into the holidays, trying to think at this point, we're middle of September, so we have October, November. If we got you in this week, we probably could still get you some information during the holidays, and we know that that's always the hardest time to stick to diets and eat the right things. And if you knew the foods that were going to be best for your body or what nutrition could support you, may have a really different holiday season. And actually going into, what is traditionally like flu season, or, who knows what this January, February, March is going to bring. You just be in a great position. So I want to encourage you to do that, because it does take some time to get the test back. So that's what I have to offer. So let's go ahead and promote everybody to panelists and see what kind of questions I can answer for you, or, what you might be thinking about.
Yeah, I'll just comment, and I know Cecil's on, and she was going to give a testimony, but I'm one of those that I believe in taking supplementation. I believe in the lifestyle, and I'm waiting for my results, and I absolutely cannot wait, because I am, I want to make sure that I'm taking because I second guess a lot, like, oh, okay, well that sounds, and then, you want to do everything right, if your health is important. So I'm very excited to do that. I can't wait.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be fun.
I also could give a testimony on the services that, this is more than a value. I mean, this is an amazing offer, with all because I know you've been educating me on all the work that it actually is to do the reporting. I wasn't aware. You think when they produce a report that there's, it just spits something out, but there's a lot more. I'm learning from you that there's a lot of analysis that you have to do on your end to provide the report and make sure.
I should probably talk about that. I know I mentioned there's a 144-page report, but I've actually attended a all-day training class on how to interpret that report and how to actually go in and find that And then there's additional training that I'm receiving on what it all means. And then when you get the report, I didn't scroll all the way down to show you, but every single recommendation or everything they say about each gene, it's footnoted with the actual research. So it's not just made up or somebody's idea. It is scientifically researched. And so they back up everything they say with research, and you can go, have all the footnotes. You can go read the research. I'm, I'll be reading some of the research or two as I get more and more, because it's fun. It's fun to read things like that PPR gamma, if you turn that gene on, and then, it helps your cardiovascular health, and you can do it by doing yoga. Like, it's exciting, So yeah, that really is, they do a great job of training the health professionals to really give a lot of value for the tests. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I'm also waiting on my results, and I can't wait to get them, because I really focus on health and nutrition and have my whole life. But as I get older, I try to figure out, okay, what used to work isn't working anymore, or, I'm not able to do that anymore. So then what do I do? And I'm more conscious on what it is that I want to be doing to make sure that I have good health. I have grandchildren, so I want to stay up with them. And my husband and I are empty nesters, so we want to be very vibrant and active in what we do. So I'm really, really excited. Dr. Carla's been great. She's recommended a product already, and I'm waiting for it to come in, because I think it's going to really help a lot. So it's a Nutrimetrics product, and I like that she looks at the holistic person, and then, it's not just, quote unquote, the spine that typically is done with chiropractic care, but it's your whole body, and it's your mind and your emotions. And I like that aspect of her treatment plan. So I'm looking forward to getting that GeneSNP in, and I think it's going to come in the next few weeks. So
yes, or put our good energy out there. That time, it's our time.
Yep.
And it really does. We really do. I love that we get access to dialing in our nutrition, but it also is going to give us more information about those other lifestyle things. Like I think I've said it, but how should you be exercising, or how much sleep do you actually need? Or I know one thing that John was interested in this webinar, because we had are you a warrior or a warrior? There's actually a certain gene that has you more, it has more of a propensity for you to be a warrior. And then there's a certain gene that has you want to go out and fight. And, sometimes as you go through life, you're like, you can't understand why you always react to certain things. Now, in my work, I work with a lot of finding what the subconscious emotional memories are that has your body react and stay in fight or flight. But there may be some genetic things too, that if you're just prone to being like on and fighting and whatever, then you can actually take steps ahead of time to support yourself and get the support you need. And again, you can you have to just think, oh, I'm a bad person and that's just how I am. Well, it may be actually just how you are, but then we can do new things to support you. So it really is one of the most comprehensive health reports I've ever seen. So I'm very, very excited about that. Does anybody else have any questions, or anything maybe that surprised you, or anything new that you learned about genetics tonight that you didn't know before?
There's being
Oh.
maybe this.
Yeah.
So everybody will receive, just a comment, and you may have said this, but will receive an email with this bit to submit. You'll basically get a thank you email with that, as well as our upcoming events.
Oh yeah, do you want to look at our upcoming events? It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very excited about all those.
See, there goes my PowerPoint again.
Uh-oh. So yeah, there's something with the connection tonight, because when I was trying to go through the PDF, it was dragging for me too. So
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so the Zoom, we must be breaking Zoom again.
Very possible.
Let's blame it on technology. That's always a good way.
Exactly. I'm afraid to do from current slides, so maybe we'll just keep this like here, like this. So we want to, I'll just kind of go over this because we have several things coming in the near future here. So our company is actually, we have a weight management program and division. It's called TLS, Transition Lifestyle Systems, and it's very, it's based on 4 areas, which is what I love it, the fact that it's lifestyle, but it's all about knowledge and education. It's low glycemic impact eating, supplementation, and then its focuses on body composition versus the number on the scale. So we have several events going with that. You can see the fall jumpstart. That's where those are, which are Thursday starting tomorrow. And then there's one next Tuesday. We have one next Wednesday. And all of these links will be in the thank you email. And then we also have tomorrow a business presentation overview because there's, in addition, if you're a health professional on the phone or just looking for additional income stream. There's other divisions that we have that we will cover in that presentation. We're expanding in the area. We have a skincare presentation this Saturday that Cecil will be hosting. She's on the phone or on the call here. And then Dr. Carla, do you want to talk about your open house? That's in October, the only one in October, so.
Yeah. So I know many of you are here in Arizona, so you are personally invited to come to our open house at my office in Scottsdale. I'm right off the 101 in Shea, and it's going to be for the times, it'll be socially distanced. I have everybody spread out throughout the different rooms in my office. You'll be able to take advantage of one of the complimentary services that I offer. We have ion detox foot baths. I have a beamer mat. I have the Healy, which is a frequency balancing machine, and we have the brain tap, which is sound and light meditation. You can go into a full meditation and come out in 20 minutes. We'll probably do shorter ones that night, 10 or 15 minutes. So if you're interested in this, I'll send you the link. You could include it in the email, but you can go online and register through Eventbrite, and then you go onto my schedule and you can book your time to do your service. So we'll just have one person at a time doing each service, and then we'll have some other businesses here that you can talk to about their amazing, just the things that they offer to support your health. And it really is, it's a customer appreciation event. For me, it's actually my 3rd anniversary in this location, and so I'm excited to pamper my customers. Even though we've all been locked in the house for the last few months, it's an opportunity to get out safely and really, just be with other people that value their health, which I find is so important. Even you being on this call tonight, it really, it keeps me sane. It keeps me remembering, like, yes, there are people who are interested in this and really want to have these conversations. So if you are in the area Friday, October 9th, be sure that you join us. We'll love to meet you. Thank you, Cecil. Yeah, I saw your registration come through today. I was very excited. Thank you for that.
I'm going to look for people to bring too, because I think it would be great for them to come and experience a different way.
Yeah.
Of chiropractic care.
Oh, thank you. It's so wonderful. Well, I really appreciate y'all taking time. I know your time is valuable, and you could be anywhere tonight, literally anywhere. Even on the Zoom world, there's probably 20 events on Zoom that you could attend, but you took the time to be here with us. So I really thank you. And if the GeneSNP analysis sounds like it'll help you meet your health goals, please go ahead and register for that. And we'll get you scheduled as soon as possible to do your swab and your initial consultation. And we'll be doing this presentation again. Probably, we do this about once a month. So if you have people in your life that you think, wow, they could really use some help with their health and this might be a fit for them, please let them know and invite them. It'll be great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Carla.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.